Warning: the following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Coach's Box. Fellas, we are on episode 239. This is going to be the next White Hype episode. With me is most of the time, if not the majority of the time, is Chris Miller. I mean, he was gone last week, and Chris, okay. we got a special guest today because none of the other guys are here.
Yeah, they decided not to show up for whatever reason. It's always an excuse.
I mean, it's like holidays
Losers.
coming up or something. Who knows? So we've got Coach Shawn Erickson with us. Coach, how we doing this evening?
Living the dream every day. Don't know whose it is, but it's somebody's.
That's right.
Somebody's
Always
dream is another person's nightmare. What do you think?
I believe that. I believe that.
Oh, so fellas, how we doing this summertime?
Well, I mean, I've got to see quite a bit of Shawn the last couple of weeks, you know, at the Midwest showcases out in Kansas City. You figure like we only live a few miles apart. We see more of each other in Kansas City, so we had to drive 4 hours to go hang out. But two great events, absolutely fantastic events, magnificent, very magnificent. I know what Shawn loves hearing that. But my God, I mean, some of the best basketball in the entire country, I feel like, but in the Midwest for sure, was played the last 2 weekends. And Shawn, you can back me up with that. I'm not just whistling Dixie over here. It was great.
He's not just whistling Dixie. I mean, in the girls event, we had potential WNBA players in several years. I mean, that's the kind of talent the women's event had, and just with my contacts on the men's side, just knowing how this event, when it started in 2019 as a showcase, and now it's to a team event. Like, I mean, we had 165 teams, 170 plus coaches. Like, I had coaches that their head coaches sent them to other parts of the country, and they were like, I wish I was there, because they know the type of talent that we have in the six state region. And they also know that when the Missouri Basketball Coaches Association does something, MBCA does it better. So
that's right.
I mean and going back to what Miller said, that's not just whistling Dixie. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. That's just what we do.
Mm-hmm. So, and I know, Chris, you showed up for a little bit last week on the show when Kevin had the power. Now he's gone. I guess he couldn't handle it. But I mean, you guys tell us a little bit about that event, because you really didn't get to. Is this talking about, when you say showcase, is it shootout with high school teams, select teams, college coaches? Like I know over the years, the last couple decades, always going to the MBCA events, coaching clinics and all that. I mean, just second to none. I think they always talked about maybe Missouri and Texas, maybe in North Carolina, always do the best high school coaching clinics in the nation. But you guys tell us a little bit about that event. I mean, you talked about the boys and girls side. What are some of maybe the teams, the athletes, just a little bit about, how the couple weeks went?
Go ahead, Shawn. I mean, you've done this event more. You've been a part of it longer than I have, even back to its early days. And I think I wouldn't do it nearly as much justice as you doing it.
You're giving me way too much credit, but okay.
I try to at times, because I don't like taking credit for anything.
We've noticed. So the NCAA started this initiative in 2019 on the boys' side, And the first year that we did it at Liberty North in Kansas City, and it was a showcase. So we brought in the top players from, it was Nebraska, Missouri, Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma, and the selective coaches associations put these players on teams. We assigned them to, not like a bracket, but just like a schedule. They get 4 games and they get to show out again with college coaches in the stands. And we did that in 2019. Obviously that got blown up in 2020 because of COVID. 2021, we did a Missouri only event at Francis House Central High School. 2022 was the last year of the showcase in terms of just individuals being selected and put on teams. We did that at Staley High School. And in 2023, we moved to the team concept where we invited the top teams from all 6 states to come to Kansas City. The first year we did it at Hy-Vee Arena. In the last 2 years, we've done it at an excellent facility on the Kansas side, home field courts. It's one of the best facilities, not only in the Midwest in the country, and it's especially perfect for the type of event that we're hosting in terms of we're able to separate the parents from the college coaches, from the teams. Everybody's segregated. You're going to stay in your area, stay away from the coaches because the NCAA rules. And for the parents, it's probably good because they get some liquid libations up in the top corner of the facility, because they have not only a restaurant, but they got a full service bar up there, which several of the Missouri coaches have told me that's great because they just serve them the right amount because they're actually trained. They get in trouble if they overserve the patrons. So, but in terms of the talent, like this year, I mean, Addison Bjorn from Park Hill South, she unfortunately placed for an Iowa, U team, the All Iowa Attack, but she got selected to the U19 USA select basketball team. Like, she's got the potential to be a WNBA talent. I mean, that's how good she is. If you'd have seen the long list of coaches that were at our event 2 weeks ago for the women's side, just off the charts, just the kind of talent that she is alone, and we have several other players in Missouri. The Porter girl from Rockbridge, who was not in attendance, she's a power for potential WNBA prospect just because of her size and her athleticism. And that's the big thing with Chris Nemo on the boys side and Corey Elms on the girls side, like especially with the girls event. It started with 36 teams in 2023, and we were at 94 teams last week, almost blown out of the facility. And the boys event has gone from, I want to say the first year we did it, it was around 90 teams. And like I said, last week we were 165. In fact, a coaching friend of mine who's got a new head coach, he sent him to Indianapolis. He asked me how it was going. Mm-hmm. And I said, 165 teams, 170 some coaches, And he goes, I remember in 2019 when you and I were standing in Liberty North, you guys only had 165 players. And now you've got 165 teams. And he was just floored at, just how big it's gotten. And, and other coaches were coming in. In fact, there was a Big 12 coach had come in from Dallas. He'd been at the event in Dallas at the TABC and came in, and he was like, holy cow. He's like, he just couldn't get over the amount of organization that our group puts into it to put on a top-notch event. But also he's like, man, I'm just walking out of here with 8 players that I'm going to recruit now. And I did not get that in Texas the day before. So it's like, and it's, we take pride in running great events, but at the same time, it's easy to run great events when we've got the kind of talent in the 6-state area that we can rely upon that, hey, come on in here. Because, I mean, I can't speak for anybody else in an organization, but like when we talk to college coaches, the thing that they respect about me in particular in our organization is if I tell you somebody's going to be there and they're good, they know I'm just not blowing sunshine, because I want it's a level of respect on both sides. I'm not going to tell them that a certain player is any good if I don't think they're good. So I think and that's how our organization runs. It's just, we put on a good product. We don't sunshine stuff. We tell you how it is because we want you to respect us. We want the two-way communication. So, you'll keep coming back.
So when you're talking about that, or are you talking more about high school teams? You're talking about select teams. So tell the viewers a little bit about what's this process like, I guess, for not only Missouri, specifically maybe the Missouri players, boys and girls, but really, just that entire multi-state region. How do you go about, saying, hey, who gets in, who gets out? How do you set up the board in terms of, is it a bracket style tournament, or is it just like, hey, we think like golf, we're going to tier it? Is this a champ flight? Is this an ABC flight? Like, what's when you talk about that organizational process?
Let the man answer the question, dadgummit, Zach.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Go.
He's good. So they have to be high school teams that are affiliated with their state high school activity association. Mm-hmm. Because, I can specifically say this year we had a team from Arkansas that we couldn't bring into the event because they weren't an official member of the Arkansas High School Activities Association. Because the NCAA has deemed this a scholastic event, they have to be with their high school teams, and it can't be select teams because that was the whole idea of the June period, was to give the high school coaches the power, and AAU's July, the high school teams get June. And that was the whole idea of it. Now, each state goes through a process of selecting their teams to come to our event. It's a nomination only. You get, excuse me, not nomination, you get an invitation. Mm-hmm. And then once we've got the teams, going back to your golf analogy, we tier them. We tier them in 3 groups. Tier 1 is the best, tier 2 and tier 3. Because our goal is to try to not have any blowouts. We want the games as competitive as we can possibly make them. Now, a couple years ago, we had Down City, who's got a kid that's playing at Omaha right now. Tony, help me, Miller. I'm blanking on the last name.
I'll think of it here in a little bit when it doesn't matter.
I know. So they got a Division I basketball player, but they're a Class 1 team. So they're obviously going to be in Tier 3 to try to make it competitive. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, as Miller can attest to this weekend, anything that could have went wrong this weekend went wrong. So Friday, there, because of the heat, there was the power grid in Kansas City, Kansas went out. And we were running on emergency power, which meant we had lights. We didn't have AC. We had no scoreboards. And when this all went down, go over to the coaches like, look, we're going to play. Mm-hmm. You've got the clocks were working on the scoreboard, so we had the clock and the shot clock. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, those guys sitting over in the middle where we had the college coaches, they don't care about the score. They care about you guys competing. So just go play. Mm-hmm. That's what we told them, because literally, yes, the coaches want to see competitive games and all that. They're not looking at the score. They're looking at how a kid competes. They're looking at his body language. They're looking like, okay, he made a couple of mistakes. What's he going to do? Is he going to drop his shoulders? Are you going to suck it up and go make a play and help his team? Those are the things that these college guys are looking for. And to be honest with you, as much as from an administrative standpoint, it really wasn't really fun dealing with what we dealt with this weekend. But for the college coaches' perspective, that's exactly what they wanted. We got some adversity. Let's see how these guys do with it. So, it was, besides that, I could have gone without having to take a shower every night for 3 days. It was so hot in the gym.
So it was Miller's fault, what I'm hearing. Miller somehow unplugged.
It's always Miller's fault. Obviously you know this, Zach.
That's true.
He knows.
And I what I do then is I turn around and I blame my assistant coaches because they should have done something different, and I delegate all the blame downhill because that's how crap rolls.
Right.
And no, but
it
I
only
will
took
say,
you 20 years to figure that out.
Well, I have to learn the hard way. So I started winning more games last few years. I look at it like this. We had such a great event, and you're right. It just seemed like anything that could have went wrong that day did. The air conditioning being the biggest thing, and we wanted to make sure that the kids were safe, obviously, because once you played for so long, the condensation started building up on the floor. And that second day was very, very long. We started our first game at 7 a.m. Because we had to make up some games. We gave teams opportunities to play, so we had to kind of bump things back, and that made for us staying later and trying to schedule this. Not every team took advantage of it. Most of them were like, hey, we're good, we get it, things happen. Obviously you're disappointed because you want to play those games, but I mean, we had we had Staley and Jonesboro, wasn't it, who played the 7 a.m. game, Sean?
Yes.
And I'll tell you right now, Zach, you know how when you try to get kids up in the morning, no.
That might have been one of the most competitive games of the day. It was 7 in the morning.
They must have been doing sprints before they got on the bus. They must have pounded, I don't know how many energy. They were the most intense. It was the most intense. He's right. It was probably the most competitive, most intense game. I'm like, I'm not even awake. I'm running the scoreboard. I'm like, I'm not even awake. I've already messed the shot clock up 3 times because I'm still asleep. And you gotta be kidding me.
Coach just told him this is gonna be the coolest the gym's gonna be today. You guys better take advantage of it.
That's probably true. He's like, listen here, a-holes, let's go. But no. But just a credit to those kids just getting out there and playing like that. And I mean, there were by the end of that, I'd say probably the middle of that game, there's only 4 college coaches watching it. And I'm thinking, y'all missed the best one right here.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, just you name it. It seemed like everybody was there. We did interviews with the kids. They loved it. They loved the feedback. And I really liked the fact that, and they all said this. So we didn't prime them with any. I asked 2 questions. What's your thoughts of the showcase and how's it different than other summer events? The majority of them said, I like this because I get to play with my team, the guys I grew up with, my friends, and I get to showcase a different version of myself as a player in front of these guys who are trying to find the next guy. And I'm like, this is exactly what I want to hear. And I have obviously, I've been very vocal about how much I don't like bad select sports. So I'm very happy with what we're able to do. Sean said it right. The MBCA, when we do an event, it's top notch. And if that's the worst thing that happened was we had a power outage and Sean had to put out a fire outside that spontaneously combusted. We're not even getting to that. He was a volunteer fireman. I do want to see the video of that because apparently it was hot, Zach. I don't know if you noticed, it was hot.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And a fire just kind of started outside. Not a big fire, the fire. And it was all contained. It's not a big deal. Sean obviously put it out with the fire extinguisher, but it's just, it's like crazy stuff like that.
It's just stuff you don't expect. It's like one of Cal Smith, Peter, assistant at Mizzou, calls me like, Sean, there's a fire outside. I'm like, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not in the mood for this. Like,
well, put it out then.
He's like, no,
fire extinguisher.
He's like, there's a fire outside. So I'm like walking out, and of course. Power outage on Friday. Where am I walking toward? The 2 power hubs that bring all the power into the facility. And as I'm walking out there, I'm going, this is how I'm going out. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to walk over there and, okay, let's see where the fires come from. Boom. Bye, Sean. But then it was like I got back there and I'm like, are you kidding me? This is a grass fire. Do you guys have a fire extinguisher? Yes. Where's it at? Come back out, put it out. Of course, anytime it's super hot outside, the wind swirls.
Yeah.
So my first couple of salvos, right on target. Third one, pull the trigger. Whoo! So I have to go back around to the other side and do it again. It's just like, and it's funny because when you're in the middle of it, like Miller can attest to this. I tend to make jokes a lot. Sometimes at my own expense, but sometimes I make a joke and people are like, are you being serious or not? So like in the middle of it, I went out, put out the fire, and I tell the guy running the facility, Andrew Nussbaum, there's a little bit left in the fire extinguisher. Empty the fire extinguisher. I'm going to go inside. You call the fire department. I want to make sure this is out. There's a couple cars that need to be moved. I'm going to go in and get the mic. Well, Chris Nimmo is, like I said earlier, he's the boys head of our event. He's like, how's it going? I just put out a fire. He thought I was joking.
Right.
He did not think I was being literal. And
right.
then when the fire trucks rolled up,
metaphorical fire.
Metaphorical. And then when the fire truck actually rolled up, he's like, oh my God, he was being serious. So then he had to come back and find out what actually happened. He's like, you were being serious. Like, yep. Yes, I was.
I wasn't carrying this fire extinguisher to hit somebody with because I was trying to put a fire out. It was an actual fire.
No, but the fun.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The funniest part was we get done with the whole thing, and the security guard brings the empty fire extinguisher back, and where does he put it? No, you got to set it out because it's going to be recharged. Guess where he put it? Back where it came from. So if there's another fire, somebody's going to pull it out and go, oops.
This one's got an expiration date on it. No,
Let it burn.
Let it burn. So I'm gonna put you guys on the spot, and if you want to plead the fifth, you can. What state had the best basketball, boys and girls? What state had the best basketball? And then if you remember any names, any future stars.
Yes,
I know you talked about Shawn. You talked about the girl out at Blue. Park Hill South. Yeah, Park Hill South. But what state, in your opinion, had the best basketball?
I'll let Shawn go first on this.
Of course you will.
Age before beauty, my man. Age before beauty.
Then where's that put you?
Second, obviously. Go ahead. I insist. It's my show. You answer first. I'll play that card. My show, you answer. You're the guest.
I would definitely say for the girls' side, it's definitely Missouri.
Really? Okay.
I just think I think that obviously we got had the marquee player, but there's you got Rockbridge, the Porter girl. I mean, Incarnate's Incarnate, and they've got some wings this year that guard type skills, like they're going to be really good. And it's sort of like the Potts girl that went to Nebraska. They got a couple of girls that are in her, ballpark. So on the girls' side, I would definitely say Missouri. On the boys' side, I think it's more even. I don't think Missouri's got some. Vashon's got a couple of juniors, the Powell kid and Jimmy McKinney, that are going to be. They got the potential to be Power 4 players. They're that good. The Atkinson kid, it's Atkins or Atkinson. I keep forgetting. The kid at Webster Groves.
Atkinson.
He's a Power 4 player, and they got a younger kid going with them that has the potential to be mid-major Power 4. But there's others. There's a kid at Boonville that's freshman that he's going to be. I mean, Mizzou was specifically there to watch him this weekend. Freshman. But it's not just Missouri. I mean, the level, that's what, and the girls event has some of the same too, but the boys event, that's what I always tell like the mid-major coaches, that yes, there are, for Nick Randall, that's at Mizzou right now, that was a Vashon until his senior year and went to the Arizona prep school. Like, he was going to be a Power 4 player. Aaron Rowe at Tolton's going to be a Power 4 player. But the mid-majors need to come to our event because that's where the vast majority of players in our event, those are the coaches that need to be there, because that's the kind, and not just a few. Like, we're talking like 20 at least that potential to be mid-majors. And so to answer, I'm not trying to avoid it, but like on the boys' side, it's more even with all 6 states have players that have the potential to be Division I basketball players.
Yeah, they've got their dudes. That's why you're inviting all of them.
I mean, I did get a chance to see the JJ Andrews kid. He's from Little Rock Christian, and he's already committed to Arkansas. That kid can play. I've seen him play last 3 years in this event. He can play. Arkansas had some good players. Owasu out of Oklahoma, that school, one of the top-ranked schools, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shawn. Top-ranked high schools in the state. Talent for talent. They've got, oh my gosh, I can't remember the kids off the top of my head. His dad's the coach. He's a phenomenal player, and I mean, Vashon couldn't touch them. So they were really good. I mean, you got some really, really good players. And I mean, I'm a fan of Missouri in general. I like to root for my state. That's very obvious when I talk to even these kids when I do the interviews. I do let them know, but I do think we do have competitive talent with other states. Girls side, Missouri far and away. Last year, the was it one of the Millard high schools out of Nebraska. They had the twins that I don't even know where they went when they graduated. They were Division I players, and that was the best team I thought up there besides Incarnate. Matter of fact, I think they beat Incarnate. But
last year
last year,
Blue Valley North, the Fritz that coaches them, she had 3 Division I players. In fact, Aiden Shaw's sister went to Harvard. In fact, that's where Aiden Shaw transferred to. He transferred to Boston College so they could be in the same area. So I mean
there's just so many good players, and I mean in the teams. I think it's cool because the kids who don't, and the kids, a lot of these kids said this too. Some of my buddies who they don't get a chance to have the opportunity to go play in front of college coaches and scouts and things like that. Now we get to go do that, and we can look over there and say, man, remember when we played and Coach Calipari was sitting over there? I mean, it's just you get to think about that. Like, I never got that opportunity, and these kids did. I think it's just an amazing thing. And I mean, not to sit here and toot the horn of the MBCA, but I mean, it's just, that was one of the cool things about when I got to be a part of this, is what I get to see, what we get to do for our state and for our players. And I mean, the joke is, it's like, well, MBCA is hosting an event in Kansas. Yeah, because there's no other facility in 7 states, 8 states. I don't know. No coach I've ever talked to said, okay, we got one of these in our state. Like, nobody, they're like, this is amazing. The way it's set up, it is set up the right way, like Shawn was saying. So, I mean, it's the best event, the best venue for the event.
It's not tooting your horn if it's true.
It is. It's true.
I mean, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I would say, I know Indianapolis runs an event that's close. Texas does. The joke around MBCA is that we're competing with Section 7 out of Arizona. And it's not just me saying that. It's the college coaches giving us the feedback of, you guys are doing it right. The organization, how you set it up, how you communicate with the coaches. It's just what I keep going back to. It's just what we do. It's not bragging if you're doing it right. And when other people are doing the bragging for you, not just Chris and I, when other people that are not associated with the MBCA are doing it, then you're doing it right.
So besides D1 schools that are there, coaches that are there, and I know you're talking about mid-majors, I'm thinking of, again, there's that small percentage, right? I mean, it's already a small percentage of kids that's going to go play college athletics. But when you talk about D1, that's even a smaller pool or smaller pond. Do you guys get the D2s, the D3s, the JUCOs, the NAIAs? Is that something that those schools or those colleges coaches are welcome to? Are they finding diamonds in the rough for their programs? Or is it like hey, I mean, these states, we got D1 studs, and that's kind of what it's there for?
I don't know the exact percentage, but I can tell you multiple D2, NAIA, D3, JUCOs are there. And I'm just going to say this. And I think that's the misconception about, everybody talks about levels. To compete at the Division II level, you better have Division I players. To compete at the NAIA level, which I coached after 5 years, you better have Division I players. I mean, let's just put it this way. Trevor Hudgens, when Northwest Missouri State was making hay and winning 4 national titles, 2 years ago, I was sick in the hospital. And the greatest part about the whole thing was I could watch all the summer league games and nobody could tell me I couldn't do it. Trevor Hudgens, if Trevor Hudgens was 6'4", he would be making bank in the league, but he's, 6 foot. Like, he's just killing dudes. Division I player, never played Division I basketball, Division I player. And his teammate Ryan Hawkins decided to go give it a go his senior year and started for Creighton. Like, everybody looks, man, I got to be Division I. I mean, look at Man Enright that played in our first event in 2019. He was on the team that I coached. He was a freshman going into sophomore year at Webster Groves. He played 3 years at Division II UMSL, and now he's getting NIL and going to go play at Austin Peay. NIL American at Columbia College is at Austin Peay. getting paid. Like, that's the and I keep telling people this. Everybody's like, well, why isn't this school recruit me? Why isn't this school recruit me? Go to where you're wanted. You go where you're wanted, and then eventually, if you work hard enough at it, then look and see what's going to happen. I mean, it's just how it works. I mean,
well, I mean, we're in a different state of college athletics now, where I heard this, I can't remember which program, when they were talking to one of these mid-major coaches who's had success, made a deep tournament run, whatever. I cannot remember to save my life. I was trying to think of the other day. If I'm a mid-major, I'm recruiting to keep these guys 1 or 2 years like I'm a JUCO, and I'm just going to assume that they're going to take NIL money and leave. So I want to help them get to that point. Like, I'm going to get you to the point where you're going to be able to go somewhere and make some money. You come to me, I help develop you, and I send you off, and we use your success. We're helping each other. That's about the only way they can do it. So if I'm a mid-major coach, I want to go to these things. I want to see these high school guys, because these are the guys I need to go get. I need these guys to build my program up. Whether I'm mid-major, whether I'm Division II, these are the kids that they should be looking for, instead of, thinking about too high or whatever. I mean, and you never know. One of these guys could really develop. They could grow. I mean, hit growth spurts while they're in college. And if I'm a kid, that's exactly how I'm going to approach it. I can always leave and go somewhere else if I'm that good. We live in that world now. I don't like it, not because I'm not one best for the kids. I think it's crazy because I can't keep track of where everybody goes. So I just stopped. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, they're good. Great. That guy will be somewhere else next year. I mean, if I'm the kids, though, absolutely. Do what's best for yourself. Make the money while you can. And I hate saying it about college sports. Just blows my mind still. But it's a great event. And I think everybody hell, even Jarvis is up there this weekend. Was like, this thing is awesome. I said, it just blows your mind.
And for Jarvis to say it's awesome, it's saying something, because I didn't know that guy could be happy about anything. I mean,
listen, he's just guys. I don't know if you know this or not. I just feel like he needs to get a new voice, and that would really help. No, he enjoyed it. He got a chance to just see everything about it, not just me coming back and talking about it. So, again, great event. Don't want to sit here and just keep gushing over it, but I love it. To me, it's fun, because when I do get a chance to watch a little bit of it, and I'm not, running around trying to get video clips of kids missing layups and missing dunks and turn the ball over. That's another joke.
So your practice yesterday.
Oh, that's normal. Fox actually stands for turnover, I think. Currently it does. We're looking to change that and change that kind of.
Change the mascot to an apple turnover.
Well, I got Eddie there. He is apple turnover, and the flex does tend to cut down on that. We're just not good at running it right now, but we're working on defense. Forget it. No, offense is whatever.
Well, then you shouldn't be turning the ball over. You don't need a ball.
No, we're just stealing it, and then we're missing layups. Okay, so it's a lot of missed layups. But we're happy. We're proud of it. As you can see, Shawn comes on here, and I mean we have nothing but good stuff to say because other people are telling us that. So that's the fun part. We're a little late. We're gonna take a commercial break. We come back. We're gonna hit to our main topic. Is Cooper Flagg the Great White Hype, or is he actually the Great White Hope, or does it even matter if he's white or not? I don't know. A lot of people have been bringing it up, but we're going to talk about it because this is the Coach's Box. We do whatever the hell we want. So we'll be right back.
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss cam.
And this game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom?
Fire!
And if you don't have the right home coverage, You might have to kiss your savings goodbye. Let's go, beat it. So get Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Bro! Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Good. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Health Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling, we've got so much content on there. Gaming, check it out. Live, not live, we've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
Welcome back to the Coach's Box, Call It Like We See It podcast. This is episode 239. We are talking about the next Wyatt hype, or are we talking about the next Wyatt hope? Don't know, but we're going to talk about it. We all have an opinion on this. If you like the Coach's Box, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, do whatever you got to do. And, help us share the show out. We want to make sure that we get a chance to see what you guys are interacting with us. Sometimes we'll read your comment on the air. Sometimes we'll put it on the air. Sometimes we shouldn't put it on the air. We do anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Not you, because
I have the power and you don't know how to use a damn computer. And teach that stuff over at Crystal City, apparently, when you was in high school.
We didn't have AC in high school.
They didn't either. So get over yourself. We was in Annapolis, okay? At least you guys had like major highways around. Jeez. You had to drive 35 minutes, 40 minutes to go to Walmart. I want to hear your excuses. So if you like our show, don't forget to share it, comment. We appreciate you guys tuning in, even if it's after the fact, Coach Valroy. But we do like the fact that you guys are being a part of the show. Main topic, Cooper Flagg, #1 draft pick for the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks traded away one of the most exciting offensive players in the game of basketball, Luka Doncic, to the Lakers, and everybody thought, my God, what a bunch of idiots. They traded for street clothes Anthony Davis. Kyrie Irving gets hurt. Their season is a complete wash after that. They're god-awful. And somehow, some way, the NBA, I want to say the NBA finds a way to reward idiocracy, but they do find a way by Dallas winning the draft lottery and being able to select Cooper Flagg from the, Zach pointed to his stupid hat he always wears, the aforementioned Duke Blue Devils. Gentlemen, what's our thoughts on Cooper Flagg, and is he going to be hype or is he going to be hope? Shawn, you are our guest, and I just like picking on Zach, so you get to go first. And then, Zach, go ahead and chime in.
Okay, let's back up.
All right,
I wouldn't have traded for Anthony Davis, but Luka had to go. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I mean, literally the whole NBA Finals, all that the Celtics did was put him in pick and roll and hope he would switch on the person they wanted him to guard, and just took his lunch and took it.
They need to take his lunch a little bit more, and that would probably help him be able to move faster on defense. I digress. Continue.
You know, JJ Redick alluded that at the end of the year press conference, where he basically said, without saying it, lose some weight. I mean, that's basically what he said to him. Get in shape. Come on, let's go. Because he was frustrated by it. But going back, I really feel like if everything that happened to Popovich hadn't happened, God would have made a way to make sure that that's where he went. But that's what happened. But Cooper Flagg, I think, number one, he's got a body that you can tell that it has the potential to become a man if he works at it. Mm-hmm. He's got the skill set. He's got the athleticism. And even though he likes to walk around like this all the time, I think he's got a little bit of edge to him. And to be honest with you, you know, Chris Nimmo and I, when we were at the Final Four this year, just worked out that we got tickets to the game. And I thought everybody wants to talk about the end of the game where, you know, they turned the ball over against the pressure against Houston. And to me, it wasn't that. It was he had taken the game over. And I think they had it up to 12 or 14 points, Duke did. And I got it to a point. They took him out of the game. But I almost felt like they should have rode him until he couldn't go anymore, because I think they could have ended it right there. Mm-hmm. Like, he showed the potential right there of being able to take over the game. And then when they gave him his rest, Houston started coming back. He had lost his rhythm, and the shots that he was making, you know, from about the 16 to about the 10-minute mark in the second half, he wasn't hitting them anymore. Now, some would say, well, if he's that good, he should hit them all the time. As a player, you lose your rhythm, It doesn't matter whether you're the best player or not. I mean, the best players, Michael Jordan missed more game-winning shots than he made. But
I say, look at Caitlin Clark. She's like 1 for her last 30 on threes her last couple games. So, you know,
well, and but again, it goes back. She's dinged up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's part of what's going on with her. But to answer your question, I think he's got the potential to be a franchise type of player.
Well, now wait. Hang on. All these guys that get drafted have potential to be franchise players. They all have the opportunity.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
A lot of these guys.
No, they don't.
Okay,
no,
but we're not talking about those other guys right now, Shawn. We're talking about the number one pick.
Has the potential to be an All-NBA player.
Well, that's now you're riding the fence. Stop riding the fence. You can't come on the show and not. Come on. Is he make a prediction? Hype, or is he actually going to do it? Is he a guy? Is he a dude? Or is he a bust? Is he maybe he's okay?
No, I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna do it. Okay. I mean,
see how easy that was. You chose. You didn't sit here and play wishy-washy. You weren't Jim Powers. We don't want you to do that. We want you to make
the fact prediction. That you put me in the same sentence as Jim Powers and compared us. Like, what are you, dude? Really?
Hey, by the way, Marin's
hey,
watching.
Marin, what's up, Marin?
Shout outs. Good.
Yes.
So okay. So now we got Shawn's take. Shawn says he's gonna be a dude. I don't even have to ask that. Zach, go ahead. What do you think of Cooper?
I think he's got to get in the weight room. I mean, he's the second youngest player to get drafted behind LeBron James by like 9 days. Just like everything else, you look at Giannis. He had to put on some muscle. Jordan had to put on some muscle. I mean, these are grown men, and he's 18. I mean, in all seriousness, his twin brother is going to Maine next year as a freshman. Okay, he reclassified, played D1 basketball at 17. Now he's 18, going to be playing professional basketball. I think. Just like a Luka, I think, just like a Rubio, all of these super, super young guys, there's going to be a growing pains process for him. He gets stronger. Okay, and this is what I wanted to ask you and debate about this. LeBron makes the comment.
Wait, get to your wait. Let's get to that. We can come back to that. Let's talk
Okay.
about the hype part.
Well,
Is
this is part of the hype part. This is the hype part. Is
all right? Go ahead.
Is he okay? LeBron was the dude on his team. Jordan was the dude on his team. Is Flagg the dude on his team? You've got Kyrie. You've got if he's going to come back healthy. You've got you say street clothes if he's going to play. Does he have to be the guy in year one like the superstars? Okay, I don't necessarily think he has to. Therefore, does he kind of get to go through that maturation process? So when you're like, is he going to be a stud? He may not, because that might not be what his role is. Maybe he grows into it. I don't see him taking over next year as a rookie, just as long as everybody's healthy. And that's another debatable topic we can do in our next segment. But I don't think he's going to have to be the man as soon as he walks on campus or, at the facility.
Well, the thing what's different than him, and in my opinion, you can't even put these guys in Jordan's classification of where they are, because these guys coming out now aren't coming out after their junior year and coming into the NBA. They're coming out after their freshman year. They're doing the one and done thing, and they're coming in. So, as we all know, males grow and they mature later than females. So these guys still have growing to do. Their bodies are still developing. They're not where they need to be. When Jordan came in the league, the reason he was able to just jump right in, you again watch The Last Dance. They couldn't believe how strong he was, how fast he was at that moment. He walks in as he should have been a college senior, and he walks in and he's just able to just take off and ascend. Look at all these guys who came into the league either right out of high school or 1 year. How many of them came right in and just said, I'm the man, watch me? LeBron is literally the closest one. Who's your next guy?
Kobe, Kevin Garnett.
Nope. Look at that first year. Kobe was not that guy. Kobe averaged 8 or 9 points a game. He struggled.
He went to the All-Star game. That's when he blew up.
Because he was a popular guy.
I'm saying, but that's when he kind of blew up.
But
Garnett,
Zach, I'm talking about that first year. There's a growing pain that comes with this.
There is.
It's taking that next step, like there is at any level. There are a select few guys who can just jump right in. The biggest thing about it is the strength and the speed required to play at that level. That's the question. Everybody that I've heard talk about Cooper Flagg says, yes, he has that ability to do that. He has the body, and it's not just his offensive game. They think he can play defense. The two guys that I've heard him being compared to, and I don't like saying it because that's a big comparison to make. Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Pippen.
Well, he can guard multiple positions. That's
yes,
the big
he can,
thing.
And that's the reason why they. But we are talking about two of in the last 35 years, two of the best multifaceted defensive players that's played in the NBA. You're also talking about a Hall of Famer and Scottie Pippen, and I don't know. It just depends on whether we count Kawhi's last couple of years in San Antonio and the fact he plays for the Clippers. I think when you go and play for the Clippers, you automatically say, I don't get to be in the Hall of Fame because the Clippers are a dumpster fire of a franchise. Okay? Again, that's the reason Chris Paul probably shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame just because he plays for the Clippers. Okay?
Well, he wanted to be on the Lakers, and he got railroaded. So
David Stern was like, no, we're not doing that. That's not going to be fair. We're not having super teams. Oh, LeBron, you want? Okay, super team it is. But I'm just saying. I think Cooper Flagg. I think he's going to be a dude. I'm very cautious about that, just because. And the reason is, I will say this: you don't see a lot of non-European white guys played at a very high level in the NBA. Okay? Start counting. You're not going to see those guys. They haven't been there. the last guy to do it, he was all right. He's about 6'9", won a 3-point contest or 3. Pretty good trash talking.
No, not pretty good. The best.
He might.
There's trash talking, and then there's Larry Bird.
Okay,
it's not even close.
I mean, if Larry Bird, that's the thing though, Larry Bird would just be. Nobody would think that if Larry Bird wasn't white. The fact that he was this white dude and he could talk smack with everybody, didn't matter white, black, whatever, didn't matter. Foreign guy, okay, cool, I got you. He could do it, and it's like he's the most unassuming tall dude. Like, no way, no way. The speech of the Hall of Fame that what was the coach who was listening to the Indiana State play on the radio? He gave the speech at the Hall of Fame, and he's like, man, that brother can play. And he saw the newspaper, and he's like, man, this got to be a mistake. These guys white. I wonder. Go ahead. Because I'll sit here and ramble on.
I think you're talking about, and Zach talked about this, you can count on one hand the guys that immediately came in, whether it was right out of high school or one and done, that had an immediate impact on the NBA. But the flip side of that, as unfortunate it is, and whether you want to agree with NIL or not, now everything's above board. Okay, it was going on, but it's above board now. Right. This actually might help because now these kids don't think they got to go out too early to go get paid because they can stay in college and get paid. So, like, in terms of, like, college prospects, I actually think the NIL is a good thing because it's forced them to stay in college to do what you said, be like Michael Jordan, stay 3 years, become a man. You know, put on some weight, get in the weight room, get with people that know what they're doing and teaching you what to do instead of getting thrown in because the one and done or when they were letting high school kids play, look at how many of those guys that, okay, this is going to be the next one and where they're all at. They're not there. They fail because they were set up for failure because of the system.
Yes.
You know, but going back to what you're saying, like you're talking about a potential Larry Bird type player like Colin Kneppel. I think Charlotte got the steal of the draft. Like that dude, like you just look at him like he's like this, got these wide shoulders and like nothing's defined yet, but he's just there and he can shoot the hell out of it. And like, you know, you play him at the 4 and stretch the floor with him. Like to me, that was out of the first round. I don't know. I know the Harper guy's going to be good. That went number 2, but like, I like that pick at number 4 with Kneppel. Like he's going to be really good. And now he's got a brother coming up that's going to be just as good.
Well, and the thing about here's the question. I mean, you've got to move on. I think we all agree that Cooper Flagg's probably going to be a guy. Okay, I mean he's going to be a player. And I'll just to answer Zach's question. I don't think he has to be the man, because he has pieces around him. A lot of times, you know what happens. You get drafted by one of these dumpster fire organizations, Charlotte, and you have to step in and you're expected to do something. You're not good enough yet. There's pieces around him that are good. Kyrie Irving has won a championship. He's proven he can play in the clutch. You know, if Street Clothes is healthy, I mean, they have pieces there. I mean, the year 4 last, they were in the finals. So they have guys.
I mean, a coach and Jason Kidd, who I think's, you know, I think he's a pretty darn good coach and as
a good
player,
basketball mind.
I was going to say, you know, an absolute savant as a player, and so he's going to do everything right for Flagg to make sure that, you know, as best he can. Again, health's another issue.
Jason Kidd's flag is tied to Flagg. Okay, listen, you can't. You get a number 1 pick. You can't mess this up. Don't mess this kid up. If he isn't a player, it's going to get tied to Jason Kidd and what he's been able to do to develop. Because when you win the draft lottery and you get a chance to select the best player in the draft, and I think there wasn't anybody who was going to say, man, they shouldn't have got Cooper Flagg. Should have got that other dude. There wasn't another dude. That's the guy right there. And everybody goes, that guy. The draft is for that guy. So Jason Kidd can't mess this up. If he does,
he'll find another job someplace else.
I'm sure he will. He'll get unless he's Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers.
Doc will come in. That's who they'll hire.
Doc will come in and take Dallas, and they'll lose in the first round. But that's. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. I really do.
So let me ask you. Well, let me ask you guys then. What do you define as a successful first season, not for the organization but for the player, for Flagg? What is, in your opinion, is like, okay, yeah, that was a good, a net positive year one?
Well, I think if he's got to be able to statistically produce as a number one pick, but I don't think he has to. He's not going to have to come in there and go 25 a game, and it's like, oh, okay, well, he's the face of the franchise. He's got carried by. This is just not. He doesn't have to do that. If he does, oh my gosh, obviously he's going to benefit from playing with a point guard like Kyrie. I believe he'll benefit from having a coach like Jason Kidd. And if there's somebody else, if he's the third guy on the team this year, if you can get anything out of Anthony Davis, then they're gonna be okay. And I think his looking back at this season, if it's a success, it's going to be, are they playing in the playoffs? Because they have enough pieces to be a playoff team. They can't be stuck in the lottery with one of the highest percentage of ping pong balls this year and think, well, I think they have to win some games.
Well, that's like, I mean, and I know we talk about the internet and memes and all that, and that's kind of what they were talking about with Wemby and the fact that San Antonio, I think they've had a top however many last couple of years, and they haven't really done much of anything. And so is that his fault? Is that not his fault? Is that, again, trying to put a roster together with all of those financial issues that that every program is going to have? That's the thing for me, is like you got to be able to build, and you got to have a foundation. I don't think it's so much the starters, but you have to have depth. You got to have some guys, again, just to be able to play, because if you don't have that, you don't have that depth, I just don't see you being as successful.
Shawn, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, going back to what he was talking about San Antonio, I think San Antonio is really close. I think something you need to look at is that nobody's talking about it a whole lot. San Antonio just stole Dallas's associate head coach, Sean Sweeney. That's going to be a huge addition for the Spurs to give somebody that's a potential NBA head coach, put him alongside the new guy, I think his last name's Johnson, that took over from Popovich. I think that's going to be huge for them. But their young core, I mean, you got to think about it. Like Stephen Castle, what's he, 20? And Victor's 19? And you're expecting those guys to like, come on. There's got to be some kind of realistic expectations, and they're close.
That's the kicker, though.
They got some other pieces, though. But and that's what, I mean, that's the part I hated for Popovich, besides the fact that, he's dealing with a stroke. He saw what was coming. Like the fact that you're 75 years old and you're like, you know what? I'm willing to go through this rebuild. Most 75-year-old guys would be like, I'm going to go drink my wine, watch you guys play, have a nice life. But no, he was excited until, that unfortunate event happened. He was excited about doing that with those guys. And it's the same thing in Dallas. It's like, I'm Jason Kidd. I'm like, okay, this is going to be some fun. And like the margin of error in the NBA, I mean, if the Celtics don't get hurt, what happens? And I'm not even talking about the Tatum injury. I'm talking about before that. KP wasn't good. He starts the season late. He gets sick. Like literally, they can't play him in the playoffs because he literally can't breathe. And now, I don't even think it's blowing it up. I think it's retooling. I mean, like, they're going to get themselves below that double tier penalty that they were going to hit. And now they're just going to wait for Tatum to get healthy again. And I would be scared. I mean, with Brad Stevens calling the shots, I would be very scared if I was the rest of the NBA in 2026, 2027.
Well, and then you talked about margin of error, Chris, and I'm going to say this. We live in this microwave generation, and look at the successful coaches that have gotten canned for doing well. I mean, we just look at New York, the fact that they fired their coach.
You can't compare the rest of the NBA to the dumpster fire franchises like New York, which is completely bass backwards on what you're supposed to do.
Like, seriously, who are they going to get? Who are they going to get?
They're so dumb.
So let's go.
Now it's the Clippers.
Michael,
now it's the Knicks.
Let's go get Michael Malone. Oh wait, that's Tom Thibodeau squared. It's the exact same dude. They're not going to get him. Who are they going to get? If you're going to get rid of Thibodeau, you better already have in your mind the next dude you're going to go get. Say, oh, let's go out Jason Kidd. No, I don't want no part of that. How many times did they get denied? Like, come on. It's the same thing in college. If you're going to get rid of somebody, you better already not only have a person in mind, you better know you're going to get that guy or that gal. Like, it's just
how dumb do the Knicks show they are by making that decision and thinking that they're going to literally get anybody. They don't have a head coach still. They have been without a head coach for a month. They are the stupidest franchise, and it's really hard saying that because you have the New Orleans Pelicans, which again is a stupid name for a team. How in the hell do the Knicks fall below New Orleans in stupidity?
Just because you're a billionaire doesn't mean you're smart.
Well, Chris, let's think about this. Maybe it's something with the boroughs in that whole area, because I don't think it's just the Knicks. I mean, it could be the Giants. It could be maybe all of the majority of the people that live there too. The decisions that I guess that they're making lately is not very good.
I mean, technically they're in the Giants and Jets are in New Jersey. I mean, you got a little bit of slack.
Well, then
the Knicks are actually in New York,
right?
And Brooklyn didn't make a whole lot of great decisions. They had 5 first-round picks and they drafted every single one of them. Like, if you had that many first-round picks, you could have moved some pieces.
Well, especially with next year's draft class. I think that's what they were talking about, was like next year's draft class.
And they literally drafted every one of them. Like, what are you doing?
Shoot or shoot, Chris. Shoot or shoot.
No. Makers make. You tell kids, like, Coach, I'm a shooter. That's great. I need makers, and you're not that guy. These, I don't understand. It's like, what are you going to do with all your money? I'm going to buy an NBA team, and I'm going to run it with Monopoly money. You're an idiot. You're a freaking idiot. The guys who've ran the Hornets, the Pelicans, the Kings, the Knicks, James Dolan, you're an idiot. The Nets, you are wasting your time with having a team. Move the franchisers, please sell it. I get tired. It's like you see all these teams, and literally I feel bad for the people of Charlotte, because that was a good fan base back in the day. The Hornets were good, and then all of a sudden they're like, dude, it'd be really cool if we traded Larry Johnson away, and then we trade Alonzo Mourning away because we want Glenn Rice.
We want Bloody Divac. That's who we want.
We're gonna trade
for Kobe Bryant. Yeah,
we're gonna trade this high school kid for Vlade Divac. Listen, it was a Hall of Famer for a Hall of Famer. Okay, you can always go back and say, well, at least he was in the Hall of Fame, because apparently they gave all of these guys who played foreign basketball entry into the Hall of Fame. Like I've said this on this show, everybody gets in the Basketball Hall of Fame. At some point, hell, all of us will be in the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's stupid.
Well, you need to back up, because you alluded to the Sacramento Kings, who used to be their GM. Vlade.
Oh.
Vlade.
They're a dumpster fire.
So it sounds like you need to say Clippers. Who actually is good.
Who's good? The teams that are always in the mix. The teams that are always in the mix are the teams that are good. Okay, right. You have teams that they lose and they retool and they build back up, and then you have the Pelicans, who don't deserve a team. The Hornets don't deserve a team the way that they're ran. Please do the NBA a service. Put a team in Seattle, and let's go. It's ridiculous. Seattle. They talk about they'll talk about NBA expansion. No. If you're going to expand anything, expand the draft to having more rounds, utilize the G League, and develop these guys who are coming out of college, these one and dones or these foreign kids coming over, so they're ready to go play in the league. That's one. 2, do not expand. Move New Orleans Take that team away from those assholes who can't run it and put them in Seattle.
Why not
Move
St. Louis?
No, we're never going to get a team. It's not happening.
It's
not happening, Zach. It's not happening.
The owners in perpetuity.
In perpetuity, there's still enough of those guys who are around and realize they got screwed on the TV deal in the ABA thing.
As much as I want to say it being on the right side of the state, the left side of the state has the NBA arena. T-Mobile is an NBA arena. Yeah. I mean, it would probably be a top 10 arena in the NBA right now.
Think about it like this. If the Kings would move from Sacramento back to Kansas City. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd be all for that.
Hey, everybody have a verbal pause because Miller actually had a good idea. Good job, buddy.
And on that, you better take a commercial.
And on that note, we will take a commercial break so I can soak up that greatness. That greatness. When we come back, we'll talk some more basketball. I mean, they had a championship game in the NBA. It'll be the last time we talk about the NBA for a while because it's not really basketball anymore.
Nope.
But when we come back, we'll talk about that. Whatever the hell we decide. It is the Coach's Box, and you're probably watching it. Be right back.
I'm an overpowered leaf blower, and I'm not exactly street legal.
And if you don't have the right auto coverage, this could really blow your budget. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Good. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Half Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling. We've got so much content on there. Gaming. Check it out. Live, not live. We've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
Okay, I got one thing to say for you guys got to change the whole Jason Jarvis coming in on your lead in to the thing, man. I mean, come on. And you got him leading off when you introduce all your speakers. That he's the lead, really? I'm just saying.
It's I think it's in alphabetical order.
Sorry, Jason, that you're not here to defend yourself.
I guess say he's
no. It's fair game.
Yeah.
I will say this. Last week in Kansas City, of course, Miller can attest to this. I tend to like Texas Hold'em poker, and it's the first time I've actually had a rail that actually talked smack while I was playing for me. Jarvis showed up Friday and like, hey, bud, what's up? And it's like, I'm playing and I'm doing really well that night. He's like, dude, you really folded to that guy? Like, come on. Like, it was like for 2 hours. So I was like, it's pretty neat. At least he's good at something.
That's all you're going to bet? You got to you got to go all in.
He's a hype guy. He's like your little John over there. Yeah.
He's that dude Amir Khan that's going to NC State that was at McNeese State. He's got the boom box, getting them all going. That's Jason.
Big old parachute pants. There you go.
Dude got more horses deals than I got. I mean, Amir's got it going on.
Oh, I need that NIL deal. Go ahead, Zach.
Well, as we kind of go into this next segment here and possibly our final segment, Chris, you alluded to the fact that the NBA had their NBA finals. Hey, you know what? Maybe the odds makers or Vegas or ESPN, maybe they don't know what they're talking about, because they were saying before game one, okay, it's going to be a 4-game sweep, maybe the gentleman's sweep where it's only 5 games. The betting lines was astronomical for the Pacers. And, they're like, they don't stand a chance. 4 games, 5 games, that's it. And it goes down to 7. And, Shawn, you had alluded to about Tatum. Well, Halliburton goes down with the Achilles, and you say you just never know. I thought, even though it wasn't in LA, it wasn't in New York teams, it's 2 basically Midwest teams. I thought, I'll tune in to watch a little bit. It was entertaining. I don't know if that's what the NBA wanted in terms of the cities that were making the championship game, but I think you have this emerging franchise with Oklahoma. I think you've got an emerging star in Oklahoma, And guys, what are your thoughts on if you got a chance to watch the finals, the players, all that going forward? What do you think?
Go ahead, Shawn.
Number one, I don't think Rick Carlisle gets enough credit of how good a coach he is. I mean, I'm not going to tell you I knew that was going to go at least 6 just because of Rick Carlisle. Like, that dude can coach. And, they got some good pieces, and he kept mixing them together. He makes good adjustments. It's obvious. I'm going to get my face kicked in one game. I'm going to beat you the next game, and I'm going to beat you doing the stuff that you did. Mm-hmm. And that's not taking any away from Mark Dejanel. Like, he's a good coach too. He's got better players. Overall, the whole roster was better. The fact that Indiana took that 7, and if their best player doesn't get hurt, who knows what happens? I mean, I think Oklahoma City would have won. But, it's one of those deals. After he got hurt, they rallied. They hung around for a while, but when you're just fighting, and then somebody, they pushed it out to 12, and you could just see that every possession becomes so important in a game like that, eventually 12 becomes 20, and then they finally righted the ship and fought back, but then by then it was too late. But going back to your point about, number one, the guys in Vegas don't know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to stuff like that. Like, that's the sport that I feel like they get wrong more than any other is NBA basketball. Like, there's so much of the adjustments, especially when you get to the finals. It's good coach versus good coach. They're going to make adjustments unless you're just so much better than the other team, which, what did I talk about last year? The Celtics were just that much better than everybody else. Mm-hmm. I mean, and to be honest with you, the only one that really gave them any close to even a thing was Indiana. And I'm sure if there's one thing that Rick Carlisle I wish he had back, the end of game 1, he would have fouled up 3. They hit that shot, go overtime, and
yes, Chris. Yes.
I'm sorry. What, you mean when you're up 3, you should foul? Are you kidding me? I didn't think that was a good idea, Zach. Many situations that we remember in recent history, in the history of any basketball level, where a team should have fouled.
What was I thinking? I already know where he's going with this.
I was talking to Coach Calipari. And you know what I should have asked him? I should have asked him, do you foul Mario Chalmers in the backcourt, or do you let him shoot the three? I mean, just, he probably would say, or how about this, Zach? How about my player that we told to foul, and you're just like, I wouldn't foul if I wouldn't do the foul. Zach, we never foul. My player must have heard you say it because, he didn't freaking foul. Well, we had to go play another overtime in St. Vincent in the land of Bruce.
Did we win?
Guess what?
Did we win?
Yeah. And what I tell you after that kid hit the shot, the first and only three hit his entire year in one. The damn linebacker shoots a three. This rainbow son of a bitch goes all the way up.
He was due. He was due.
Marriage watches.
Drills it. And what did I tell you? What I look at you and tell you? That's why we freaking foul.
I don't think that's exactly how you said it.
I did. I said freaking because I would not say things like that. And you know what? We should have fouled. So thank you, Shawn. I needed that.
No,
I needed that.
But okay, NBA coaches tell NBA players to foul too, and they don't get it done. And I can't tell you whether Rick Carlisle told those guys to foul at the end of the game, but I know this. You're going back to the Pelicans. They hire Stan Van Gundy, who's going to build the thing up. They gave him 1 year. We need a different voice. He's just not getting through. And I can remember the game. They're playing at New York, and whichever one of the balls they had on the team at the time, damn game's in the balance. And he told them to foul. Get beaten overtime because he doesn't foul. But to back up to what Zach was talking about, going back to the bettors, everybody's jumping on the Houston bandwagon. Kevin Durant's got one damn title. Come on. And he had to go to Golden State to win it.
He won two.
He's had.
Didn't he?
Who else did he win it with?
No. He won two in Golden State. Did he not?
He only won one because he got hurt the second one when they got beat in 7. Did he win two?
Look it up now. I think he did.
I will stand corrected.
That's the only place he won was in Golden State.
But he couldn't do it anywhere else by himself. Right. He had to go somewhere that they already knew how to win it.
Right.
And
he might be right.
Udoka getting paid big bucks, acting like he's already done something. He hasn't won one yet.
Durant won two.
That whole Houston thing is getting set up to fail miserably.
Yes.
That goes back to culture, and again, Chris, we could probably, we hardly agree on anything anyway. But if you're talking about who you want as a franchise guy or who you want to, as great of a statistical player as KD is, I don't know if I want him. I don't know if I want him in my franchise. Again, what's my phrase? Is the juice worth the squeeze? I don't know culturally if that's something that you do. Now, if Houston's in that boat where beggars can't be choosers, then they got to get that type of player to elevate everybody. Okay, but there are guys that you can just, I don't know, you go and you look at and you're like, nah, I don't want him. Or there's guys that you do. I'll tell you this right now. SGA or Ant, give me SGA. Out of those two, give me SGA. He wants to play ball, and I think he fits everything that's right with building a franchise, building a program, and being able to handle that megastar type role, being that it guy on a team. And I think there's a lot to be said.
I would say that you got to take into consideration the maturity factor. I think Ant is eventually going to be that level. I think he's got that thing you can't teach. He's got the motor. He's got the heart. SGA's got a maturity that a lot of guys his age don't have. And I think that's why he's where he's at right now. Now, going back to Durant, how dumb do you got to be if you want to win? You want to win rings, and you got a chance to go back to Golden State. Durant's the only dude that never got along with Steve Kerr. He's the only guy.
I think he's afraid of Draymond.
Draymond.
No, Draymond. He puts up with Draymond because he knows he needs him.
Durant's afraid of Draymond.
Well, that might be true too, and he probably deserves it. Draymond make him get in line. That's why he don't like it. He doesn't want to be told what to do. He just him and Udoka are going to get in the fight. I'm telling you right now, because as much as I think Emmy's like overhyped, like Emmy will tell you how it is. I mean, he's over telling LeBron James stop being a bitch in the middle of the game. Like seriously, he ain't afraid to say that stuff.
Hey.
Go back.
Hey,
he did.
Hey,
he did.
Here's the thing. It ain't gonna be Durant getting into a fight. It's gonna be Durant's burner account on Twitter getting into a fight, because that's how Durant is. He's not that kind of guy. He's gonna get on social media and he'll attack you with his trolling accounts. That's what he's gonna do.
And this is why I say Golden State could have picked between Durant and Draymond Green. Okay, who's staying and who's going? And Draymond Green is the one that stayed. The player, the athlete, the basketball player, and the acumen of those. It's not here talent level, and that's who they went with.
Draymond's the smarter, wiser version of Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
And he can actually shoot it a little bit better. I mean, seriously, that's what he is.
Barely.
Man.
He's just not going on benders with Carmen Electra for, a week at a time or whatever.
Well, maybe he's not the smartest guy. Maybe he's not the smartest version.
Exactly.
They let him do it. The Bulls let him do it because they knew they needed him. And what did he do the first practice he came back? He beat everybody's ass in sprints.
Right?
Yes. Indian running.
He was probably he was a little ready to go.
Yeah, no, he had to sweat out the kamikazes. He had to sweat out the kamikazes.
I don't think that's what Zach was referring to.
I know what he meant. Probably had to use a mallet.
Hey,
the booger sugar.
got him more. Got him more than rebounds. Got him more than rebounds.
I don't know, man. I'm not a Kevin Durant fan. I mean, he's like a hired gun. He's a talent. He's a guard talented Moses Malone at this point in his life. Just go.
And what
is
he going to be? 38 going into the season?
Oh my gosh,
yeah, at least 37.
Yeah, he'll be 30. He'll be 37 this year.
So weren't they the same? No, as Melo, the same draft class as LeBron, D-Wade, and all that. So he's a little younger.
He is a little younger, but I mean, what a terrible thing. I mean, this is a guy who he should be finishing his career in Oklahoma City, or at least in Golden State, and he couldn't get along with the most successful coach of this era in the NBA. I mean, or with the team, you piggybacked, and he had to help a little bit. And they moved the way they played around for Durant.
Yeah.
When they first started playing Golden State basketball, man, everybody touched the ball. It was a morphed version of the triangle and the Spurs motion put together. I mean, such pretty ball movement, a lot of back picks, guys could facilitate, and they shot the three, and it was pretty. And the guard, I mean, Curry and Thompson are two of the most underrated screeners I've ever seen play. And then Durant comes in, and they shifted things around. Everybody took a different role because he didn't give up scoring. He didn't give up scoring for that team, and they made it work. Played good defense, hit his ass because he can't guard anybody. And he got 2 championships and 3 finals appearances out of it, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go because I'm scared Draymond hates me and he might hit me or whatever.
Well, he's already proved he did that. I mean, he's not afraid to hit a teammate.
You don't talk none, there won't be none.
There you go.
Jordan Poole must have said the wrong thing.
I was say he walked a long way to have that conversation with Jordan Poole.
But that's the whole thing. In 2025, that's a big deal. In 1985, nobody even batted an eye at it.
Well, nobody had a cell phone recording it either.
It's like the whole deal with Sophie Cunningham and the whole, Connecticut Sun deal. Like, I was talking to Kevin Garner this weekend. He actually coached against me in my last high school game. The picture in the paper is me going up for a dunk, and one of his guys has got their arms around my neck. Is not going to let me dunk. Back in 1991, that wasn't a big deal. Like and the thing that infuriated me about that whole deal more than anything was the next day on ESPN. Oh, the first part was okay, but what Sophie did was wrong. No, what Sophie did was absolutely right. You mess with my girl, I'm going to mess with you. That's, I mean, Okay, I took it off the rails there, Miller.
Yeah.
But like the NBA is screwing with their cash cow. Like you got to take care of Caitlin, and the dummies aren't doing it.
Well, we've said that many times,
right?
And just to finish up the point on the NBA, I mean, I think Oklahoma City is set up for the next few years. Even their first round pick was hurt all year. The kid, the foreign kid, I don't know, I can't remember his name, towards ACL. They've got, I mean, they had draft capital. They've got good draft picks next year from all the trades they made, because apparently people thought that Paul George can play. Paul George is garbage. He's hot garbage. He's overrated. He belongs in a Los Angeles Clippers uniform, another team that needs to go away. So I think I hated to see Halliburton get hurt, and they asked if knowing what you know now, would you go back and play Game 6? I loved it. He said, "Yeah, I would play." I mean, he wants to play.
Can't get to Game 7 if you can't get through Game 6.
And I'm using this with my kids the other day because a kid missed because of, he, whatever reason. I want to front him out, but it was a lame excuse, and we all would have. If I tell you it'd be a lame excuse, you're like, really? Like, guys, you only get this chance one time, and he's playing for an NBA championship. He might never get back to do it. Might not ever. So you have to play. And if you're in high school, are you hurt or are you that bad? Like I told me, I'm like, okay, we'll go to the doctor, because if you're that bad that you can't come to practice for that, then you need to go to the doctor, because there's something literally wrong with you.
Send them. They need to watch the program. You need to get out the program. Are you hurt? Are you hurt? Or are you injured?
There are some things we shouldn't watch, though. Probably as high school kids.
Hey, they took.
It's edited from then.
It's took the scene out where they lay in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
They took it out. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Okay. Well, so I do like the way that Shea plays ball. I mean, listen, I'm going to dribble to this spot, and I'm going to shoot this spot. I'm going to shoot from this spot, and the only way you're going to stop me is foul me. They say he's the most boring superstar. Dude, I don't really care. Did I win? Yes. Great. I'll take it. I mean, to me, it's you just go to play your strengths. The best players in the NBA go to their spots and score. That's where he's going to go, and he's going to go score there, and there's nothing you can do to stop him. When Anthony Edwards is playing at a high level, he's going to his spots and scoring. And if you try to overplay him, he's going to take it to the basket. He's going to teabag you as he dunks on you. That's what makes he has that factor. If Sean's right, if he was mature, he is the face of the NBA. He's not mature enough. There's a difference. He might be Michael Jordan's illegitimate son, but I'm telling you right now, he's not Michael Jordan.
No,
he's not, because Jordan came in with an unprecedented level of maturity. Thanks to his parents, Dean Smith, and the people around him.
Right.
But he also had the personality to make commercials and make the Jordan brand into what it was. And thankfully for his mom, she made him take that visit to Nike. Like, Ant Edwards has got the whole Adidas thing going on, but he doesn't have it all, like you said, he doesn't have it all put together. And,
being marketable. Being marketable. Let's just call it.
Shea gets a personality, because Shea gets a personality. Like, the endorsements for him are like he did something like regular season MVP, finals MVP, leading scorer. Like, he did all those things. That's like unprecedented. There's like 2 or 3 people in the whole history of the NBA that've done that. Like, he's got the chance to blow up. It's like, now let's see your personality a little bit, bud. I like how your demeanor and how you play in the game, but now can you translate that to the bucks you're going to put in your pocket from your endorsements?
Well, and if they keep it together and they continue to win, there's ways that even in Oklahoma City that he can market himself and make money on a national level. And I do like the way he plays. I really do. And even if it's boring, like, listen, I want to see guys who know how to win and play that way. So, by the way,
hey, Jarvis, I'm the best thing that happened to this show, buddy, just so you know. You're welcome.
Yep. Hey, we need a new voice on the show, so we have Sean to be on here.
Yep, Jarvis is on assignment. We need a new voice.
Assignment on vacation.
He's with Jim. He's with Jim. Wherever they're at, who knows?
Hanging out together. But
that's not going to be good.
So real quick, and we'll have a little mini topic here, because Sean, you brought it up. The WNBA. Speaking of dumpster fire, the league itself has the golden goose. They have the most money they've ever made, and they have to be the biggest bunch of dummies to ever walk the face of the earth. I mean, they are literally shooting themselves in the foot. Like not even literally, but at the same time, they are kind of shooting themselves in the foot, literally. Why is this happening? What is your thoughts? We have talked about this ad nauseum in the last 2 years since Caitlin Clark has been in the WNBA. Shawn, why do you feel like this is happening? What are they doing?
They're not reading the room is what they're not doing. They're not reading the room. Like, come on. Like, it's like this whole thing. It's like, okay, you guys didn't get to take charter flights. Now you get to check the charter flights. Like, in fact, just to give you an example of just how she has grown the NBA. You know, my daughter is a college basketball player. I want to take her to see Caitlin Clark. Well, MBCA does it better. We have a great connection and partnership with Sophie Cunningham. So I messaged a friend of mine that does all the scheduling for the games, and I was like, hey, you think you could get me and my daughter a hookup, go watch Indiana play? So when Sophie was in Phoenix, she was begging anyone that could come. Like, she had all these tickets to give to people to come to the games. Mm-hmm. Right now, she gets 2 tickets. 2 tickets to give to who she wants to go to the game. Guess who else has 2 tickets? Caitlin Clark. Because they are selling out. Literally, so Caitlin could take care of her people. She bought 12 season tickets so she could give them out to her people. Like, that's how much she has just impacted one franchise. One franchise, but she's impacted all of them, because now all these players are getting to be able to do these things that in a perfect world they would be able to do, like if they were making a money stream like the NBA was, but they weren't. But now these opportunities are out there for them. Like, it starts with the league president. Like, seriously, you're not going in to the director of officials and be like, if Caitlin doesn't give every call, you're fired. And if the next person comes in here and doesn't do that, you're fired. I mean, seriously, when you have that, you're the face of the WNBA. I get it. There's all these great players that came before and all this, but now it's just blowing up. Everybody's watching because of her. You have to take care of her.
How is the NBA not saying it? Because they fit the bill. I mean, they're fitting the bill for the W. How are they not? How is Adam Silver not the one saying, yeah, you guys protect her?
I saw something in the last week talking about the amount of flagrant fouls since she's been in the WNBA. And number one on the list for taking flagrant fouls is Caitlin Clark. It's like between 25 and 30% of all the flagrant fouls that have been other players have done have been to her. And the sad thing is, I think number 2 is Sophie Cunningham. Because they're pissed at her because she's backing people up. Like, that's how, like, it didn't take a rocket science to see what was going to happen. Like, in that Connecticut Sun game, like, she would have been out there for the first one if the assistant coach hadn't grabbed her. And it's like, okay, the game's in the balance. You're the one that poked my girl in the face. I'm going to give you a hard foul. To me, like, that's the part. And to be honest with you, I don't know if it would ever gotten to that point. Okay, Caitlin gets poked in the eye. She shoves the girl back. You want to call it a double technical? Double technical. But the third girl that came in and decked Caitlin, you're gone. And you're probably going to get suspended. You do that one time, that crap stops. But has anybody done that yet? No. Nobody has. And that's the problem, where they are missing the boat. You take care of the person that's helped getting you all paid.
Well,
it's
I mean,
common sense.
But it is until you are forcing people to think rationally, and they are not thinking rationally. We're so worried about who are we protecting here? We're protecting one person. Oh, well, that's not fair. Well, it's you, and I agree.
Life is not fair. The sooner you figure it out, the sooner you pass go, you get to collect $200.
Well, do you want fair and making 40 grand, or do you want not fair and making 100 grand?
Zach, be careful asking that question. Be careful asking that question. They might
quick. The next collective bargaining agreement is coming up, and they better figure it out real quick, or they're gonna screw this up. Is what scares me. It's like they've got this thing going how they want it to go, and they better figure it out before the next CBA expires. Because if there is a work stoppage, they're done.
Yep.
I'd say it. If they don't figure this out, they're done. And the people that better figure it out is the WNBA powers that be, because the players got the power right now. And if they're dumb enough to crap all over their golden goose, then it's going to be over, and it's sad.
Well, then they deserve everything they get because they had that opportunity.
The WNBA would deserve that, but the players don't.
But well,
the players are the problem.
Shawn,
that's the issue.
The problem is the players are the ones doing this because they're jealous. I mean, let's be real here. They're jealous of the notoriety and the attention that Caitlin Clark gets, and she just got here. And all these women who've been there and played for years, well, that's not fair. Well, who gives a damn? I'm going to tell you right now, Zach, you said it like, well, would you rather have, the money? And no. Don't ask that question because I could have got a divorce for $50 and my ex-wife wanted to argue with me because she wanted to get a lawyer. We had everything split. I'll tell the story. I really don't care. I think it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Everything was split. We're good. All we got to do is go to the courthouse and sign the papers. I said, it'll cost us $50 each, $100 court costs. You're done. Well, I want to get a lawyer. Why? Because it's the only way I know how to do it. Well, it's going to cost money. How much is it going to cost? $1,000. Why are we doing that? Because it's the only way I know how to do it. They made us do the exact same thing. I argued with her until I said, I'm not paying for it. Well, fine. You pay your court costs and I'll pay it. So it cost me $50 to get a divorce, uncontested divorce, and it cost her $1,050. And I was trying to make sure we both didn't have to lose money. So, Zach, don't ask that question. Because if they think irrationally about this whole situation, they could actually cost themselves money. And you're going, how would you do that? That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Why? Because they're thinking emotionally. It's not fair. It's not fair that she's getting this and she's getting that and I don't know what to tell you. Go home to your goal and shoot more and dribble more and be better. Is what my coach would tell me. Well, I don't think it's fair that Chad gets to shoot the ball. Well, you know what? Get better, dude. Go sit down. You're not even good enough to talk to me. There's no accountability here. There's none. They tell these guys, you're right. The players have the power, and they're pushing around. The commissioner, the fine was what, $400 for a flagrant foul the other day? You almost cost the league everything, and we're going to fine you $400. I'm going to take your firstborn child, okay? Like, no, don't do this. But it's not fair if we protect one person, not all of them. The commissioner of the WNBA, I don't know who she is. She needs to go. She's trash. She's trash. She's trash. Does trash job. Might be a great person. Great human being. Trash. You're fired. Goodbye. Goodbye. Walk away. You're the weakest.
You're done.
You're gone. You're done. You're done. Goodbye.
All right.
So
I'll segue this. We were talking about being done. So I put this on our group chat, and so Shawn, I'm curious to get your opinion on this because I know how Chris and the rest of the guys think, feel about my opinion on this. So, all right, across all of professional sports, and we've talked because of the Blues, because of the Cardinals, but because of the NBA and the fact that they had 4 Achilles tears, this playoff
7, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? Okay.
Maybe. I don't know if it was in the playoffs, but I think they had 7 during the season altogether.
So are professional athletes getting hurt or injured at a higher rate than previous years or generations? And if so, why? If not, why all of a sudden this perception? We got all this new technology. We got modern medicine. We got healthcare. We got food. I mean, you got all these guys, hyperbaric chamber, like all this crap that all these athletes are doing to protect themselves. And they all seem like they're always getting hurt versus – what you talked about the Last Dance when Jordan walks in and they're all smoking cigarettes and drinking beer at halftime and everybody's fine. So is there a problem? Is there not a problem? Like, what do you think?
Well, it's funny because I saw something the other day. A high school coach in St. Louis tweeted high tops. I mean, that's a legitimate point. Like, think about, and I do think Tatum wears at least mids, but Halliburton had lows. When Kevin Durant, his KDs, their lows when he did his. But I think the bigger thing you got to look at, especially with Tatum, I don't think Halliburton played in the makeup Olympics in 21, but Tatum played 21. He played the 24 Olympics. Like, everybody talks about load management, blah, 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 but, you know, that's one thing you got to take into consideration. Like, once the Dream Team came on, like, most of those guys played one. Like, you're looking at guys that have played 2 and 3 Olympics on top of, like, if you make it to the NBA Finals, you're looking at 98 games. If it goes the full 7 games each one, like, you got to win 16. Like, if they go 7, like, you're going over 100 games plus the preseason.
Well,
so it's like and another thing that, like, I don't think gets talked about enough is that you were talking about the smoking and the drinking when Jordan first came in, but like some of the training, it's like it's supposedly advancing, but is it? Like, I mean, Jordan had the foot issue early on in his career, but after that, he was fine. And it's like they think that they've done all these things to make them bigger, faster, stronger. And I mean, look at baseball players, the amount of injuries that they have, like hamstring injuries and the torque from we got to have the spin rate and all that. And it's like, and then they adjust the balls and they wonder why more guys are blowing their elbow out. And it's like, I think there's got to be some common sense to what's going on. And I will say this: Silver came out and said, if you don't think we're not talking about this right now, in fact, I think he said it before the NBA draft last night. If you don't think we're not talking about this, we're talking about this, because this is a understanding your cash cow. You've got 2 of your top 10 NBA players going to miss a whole season because they blew out their Achilles. It's like, it's something that has to be addressed. And I think it's just going to keep getting worse until they can find a root cause of what's causing it. And I'm not going to lie to you, I do think not wearing high top shoes is one of the problems. Like, I didn't really see Tatum's, but they showed Halliburton so many times, and it like made me want to be sick. Like, and you could see the whole thing happen because he got on a low top shoe. Okay, I'm done talking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you're on to something there, and I'd tell all of our kids, and I just remember back in the day, like even the guys that would go play college ball, like they had to wear high tops, ankle braces, and get their ankles taped because nobody wanted to say, oh, you can't practice today because you rolled your ankle. Well, no, that's not an excuse. Once you have any kind of foot injury, you should be taking care of yourself, whether you're in a brace. But the thing is, high tops are kind of important. And for whatever reason, somebody made it like a fashion statement to wear the most unprotective version of a tennis shoe since running shoes to play a game that requires you to have your ankle be able to turn and move and rotate and think, I don't think anything bad's going to happen if we do this. Yeah, I don't think so either. Okay, let's sign off on this. No, you're an NBA team. You're not wearing those shoes. No, but we've empowered the players. I want to wear this because it's my shoe line. Well, then your shoe line sucks because you're going to get hurt wearing your own crap. You're an idiot. And again, it is dumb. Wear high top shoes. We weren't allowed to wear low top shoes. We were in trouble.
We got to get back up to the whole Cooper Flagg thing because he's screwed because he's wearing New Balance.
Grandpa, those are, I can't say nothing.
Jarvis is wearing New Voice and Cooper Flagg is wearing New Balance.
Jarvis is wearing the Marburys. $18 on eBay.
Marbury, $18, buddy. Then I'm gonna go to what was that store that was it Rick and Barry's where you could buy like all the college and pro stuff for like $4 or $7. I don't know. It was greit. And it went out of business. Obviously, I think there's a very big correlation behind that. I also think, look, I don't like the load management thing. I like what Jordan always said, and I know we always revert back to how great The Last Dance was. Like, you never know when somebody's going to get to see you for the first time, and that I want to play every game like it's my last game. This midseason NBA tournament is stupid. Adding the extra game to the first round of the playoffs, like you want to give guys an opportunity to take a break. It's a best of 5, like it used to be. It's how it should be. Why do we have a best of 7 in the first round of the NBA playoffs? And why is there a play-in game? Oh, so more teams get a chance. Then have less teams. Yes, money. Nobody's watching the NBA. Nobody watched the NBA until the last 2 series. Nobody watches the All-Star game because it's garbage. It's not even basketball.
So
Again,
say it's not defense.
The game is not even basketball anymore.
Let's back up to the load management thing. And, Miller, I don't, Zach, if you don't know, I work for a Hall of Fame NAIA coach and Bob Burcham. We did load management in the 90s, but it didn't mean you didn't play games. Okay, we're in the conference schedule. Okay, we're going to practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, play Thursday. We're taking Friday off.
Yeah.
You can come in and lift. You want to get some shots up? We're not practicing. Saturday morning, we're going to go for about 30 minutes. And then, but even at the end of the season, okay, guys, here's the deal. You get in here, you do your work. We're going to get out of here in 45 minutes. It's amazing how motivated guys are in there to get their work done and get out. And you're letting them do load management without letting them think they're doing load management. They're just like, hey, we're going to get in here 45 minutes. Y'all better do your job, and then we're going to get out of here. So if you don't do your job, I'm kicking your ass after practice. So it's like there are ways to do that, even at the high school level. And I found this at a deal. So like when this has been a long time ago when I was coaching at Bell, it just happened that the year we went 24-4, went to the Sweet 16. We were supposed to play the Tuesday before districts and then be off until districts started. Which, looking back, I wish it would have happened that way because there was so much snow that we had 2 makeup games. Like we had a Friday, Saturday makeup right before districts.
Oh.
And we made it to Sweet 16. Well, the next year, it worked out. We didn't have that. So we didn't play the Tuesday. I gave them off till Saturday morning. And just to see how that stretch went and how more fresh we were as compared to the year before, and I was into the load management thing before that, as in what we called it. We just called it being smart. But to actually see the results of that in 2 successful seasons, it's like there's a correlation between it. You just got to be smart with how you practice your guys, cut down on your practice time, and things like that. You can do all that without, without setting guys out games. And it's like there's a guy I work with at school at Festus. His son's the head manager of the Vikings. In fact, when they were in St. Louis, he was an assistant manager or trainer with the Rams. But his
Mr.
job,
Williams,
yes,
his job, Tyler,
he had every one of those guys had a counter, and he had a spreadsheet with like 10,000 things. They tracked the amount of hits they got, the amount of steps they took every day, and the Rams became, and he took it to Minnesota, that their amount of injuries as compared to the rest of the NFL had gone down, and a lot of it had to do with all the things that they were tracking. It was load management, but it wasn't like you don't play this game unless you're getting ready for the playoffs. You want somebody to get hurt.
You're going to this thing called sit out and rest for a little bit. I mean, you know the plays, you know what you're doing, you got the muscle memory. Go rest, and that's what I don't get when what's their everyday look like on game day? Are you having to wake up at 6? Are you having to go? What are you doing all day if you've got a 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock game? Are you not taking care of yourself? Are you going out and partying? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Well, I don't get it. I don't understand how if your job is just this window of time, what are you doing the other hours of the day when you're not working? And again, maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe they're not doing enough because what did we all do growing up? Hey, it's summertime. You know what we're doing? Parents are kicking us out. Mom's kicking us out of the house and saying, you know what? Come back when the light comes on and it's dark. Get out of the house. And so maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just something different with how we were raised versus how people are raised now. I don't know.
I think that the fact that these guys everything is specialized movement, where we say that kids, we want them to play multiple sports so that way they get different movements and different things. These guys aren't doing that anymore. That's all done. This is all you're doing. I think and I used to say that, playing all this AU ball and putting the extra mileage on these guys in one specific sport is detrimental in the long run to their bodies. Then if we're doing that, and then you're going to say, well, then I don't understand why we're using games as a load management. Like Shawn said, I during the season, I give my guys practice time off, where I reduce the amount of time that they're on their feet in high stress situations. And if my practices are high stress, then the games are not high stress. And the games are the things that matter. So why not limit the amount of practice time, especially for professional athletes who are getting paid to play, and people are coming to watch them play those games, and say, okay, if we're going to play on Friday, I'm going to give you X amount of time off, or we're going to reduce the amount of practice time, and then you're still going to play the game. Like, I can't look back and think that Red Auerbach goes, Bill Russell, you're not going to play today. No, Bill, you're going to go sit in the seats with me while I smoke a cigar, and we're going to talk about everybody and all the crap they're not doing, and I'm going to give you your time right here. I don't like load management. I think it cheats the fan. I also think it cheats the daggum player. You're not playing. You
make your money.
Well, I mean, how are you getting a game check when you're not playing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure they can, because they're guaranteed contracts, whatever. But come on, man. I mean, the amount of games that these guys are playing has dropped every single year since 2000. Every single year, the amount of games played on average is dropping. And they're just playing less games. Stars are definitely playing less games. The guys are on the 10-day or the two-way 10-day contracts. Oh yeah, they're playing. I'll play. But these guys are making their bucks. They're on max deals. I'm taking time off. Whatever. I mean, that's not fair to the fans. It's not real basketball, man. It's just, you're out there playing like it's your last game. And if you're getting hurt, then you're not taking care of your body through those things, like not practicing, or maybe it's the day to skip leg day or something, because your body needs the rest. But the game is the most important thing that you got to play, especially at that level. At the college level, it's the most important thing. At the pro level, it's the most important thing. And we're trying to get our guys to understand that is, if they do their job in practice, they bust ass for an hour and a half. Then we're done. We ain't having a 2.5 hour practice. You get this. Okay, great.
Yeah, but I think you hit on it earlier about the mileage these guys are putting on. We keep talking about sports specific, and that, you see all these guys, like the one I think of at the top of my head, Scott Rowland. Where was he born? Indiana. Guess what sport he's an all-stater in? Basketball. On top of that. But they're getting the mileage too soon. That's why all these pitchers, we don't want them throwing curveball. Well, duh, that's not stupid. But these damn 12-year-old AU baseball coaches or whatever it is, we're playing to win the game. If you haven't developed the skill set, what the hell does it damn well matter? But I think you sort of hit on it too. The whole, we're too sports specific too soon, and it's catching up to them. And it's and maybe when the NBA looks at this, maybe that's one of the factors that maybe they look at is. But again, like, I got asked this question this weekend at the showcase, with the EYC and everything Nike's doing, trying to identify all the top talent and get them into their Scholastic deal and control them. So hopefully they find the next big thing and they can sign them and all this stuff. The question was, is high school going to get back to being high school basketball? If you can keep the parents out of it, yes. Because the thing that's going to happen is now you're going to have kids playing high school basketball for the reason it's supposed to be played, for the enhancement of the whole Scholastic experience. Yes, it's going to get back to what it should be eventually, I think. But are we going to see the high-end talent that used to play in the the big events that used to be in St. Louis back in the 90s and all that? No, because they're all going to be playing at the Lynx and the Montverdes and all these big-time EYC teams. But that part of it, hopefully, is going to get back to what it should be.
I think if we can figure out how to keep not the blue chip guys, they're on another stratosphere. We're not touching them. They're going to go play one and dones or whatever and go play in the league. The guys that we all should be really focusing on. That's why I said that I'm not a big fan of the AAU and the select stuff. I will preface this because I know there are people who run good programs that are looking out for kids. I also know there's a vast majority of them that are not. They are there to make that person money. That's the only reason they're doing it. It's not for anything else. They will use those kids and run them into the ground, whether it's baseball, basketball, whatever. For us to save high school sports, at some degree, everybody has to get on board with this to fix it, or it will be gone. Right now, we're at a very bad spot with volleyball and softball and soccer. Those sports are about to go bye-bye because Select's winning every time you turn around. They're getting the kids. They've got the parents believing all this crap, and they're driving those kids into the ground, and nobody's saying anything of the wiser. As those kids said to me in those interviews, their coaches don't get to see them, and these college coaches don't get to recruit them in this light and in these roles with their teams. When they play AU, you're playing with all these guys who are also big fishes, and they are not. It's not a clean game to watch. If I'm a college coach, I don't get to see them playing with guys that they might have developed chemistry with. You're playing on this team. They might play with a couple of these guys, but it's not the same. And it's all for me and not for you when I'm out there playing. There's no help defense, whatever. In high school, I get to see a different version of this kid. I like the Scholastic events because of those things. I like our kids not being sports specific. Would I love to have our kids every day playing basketball? Absolutely. But I'm also not, I don't want to do a disservice to the kid. They need to live, be a kid, play other sports, enjoy that time that they have. And I think the NBA is seeing the effects now of guys who have too much mileage, not taking care of themselves, quite frankly, are stupid for wearing low tops. And they have a problem. I really believe they have a problem. I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, yeah, now everybody's going to get it. No. They really have a problem because everybody is getting hurt. They have problems.
And the most important guys are getting hurt.
And those are the ones who are driving the league. So when you start affecting the pocketbook, things have to change. WNBA, pay attention.
Take notes.
Case in point. Yes, write that down. Write that down. Commissioner, whoever, you need to lose your job at the end of this year. It's time to write that down. It doesn't matter. Just for the rest of this year, understand that. Start giving fines out that are more than $400.
I mean, think about it. Adam Silver, immediately, this is the problem. We're going to fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that the WNBA is not saying what's going on is a problem. Like Stephanie White, I love that chick. This has been a problem. I've been griping about this for years. All the things. The players have gotten better. They're more skilled. The officiating has stayed the same. Is anybody in the league office saying that? No. They got their damn head in their damn sand. Suck it the hell up. There's a problem. Fix it.
Call a foul. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. It's okay.
You're getting
it's okay. We could
no matter what. Come on.
We could find some high school refs to go and they'll call WNBA games. They'll blow the whistle. It might not be great, but they'll blow the whistle.
You had to go there.
On that note.
That's
what's nice about being out of for 7 years. I can say whatever the hell I want to say.
That's true.
You had to go there.
I did. Anyway, Shawn, thank you for being on the show.
Yep.
And your
My
debut.
pleasure.
Been telling you
so much more informative than Jarvis. I mean,
right?
Coherent. You know, he's not on.
It's just like the MBCA. I don't have to say anything. Everybody's saying it for me.
Well, you're not nodding off. You're not nodding off on your couch.
Let's go, Miller. Let's go. Let's go. You know, the next time you bring me on, hopefully I'll have some good stories to tell from the WSOP in Vegas. I'm headed down there tomorrow.
There you go. Now you see, he's gonna go win him some money there. You won't have your hype guy though. You won't have your hype guy.
I think I'll be all right without my hype guy.
All right, just making sure. He might be able to make the trip. He's in Texas.
You do that out in Vegas, you might wind up being in a back alley or something with the, with the casino people. Here, we need to come this way.
No.
There's certain decorum that you have to have. It's not Kansas City. I can't remember the name of the place, or in Vegas. But anyway, Shawn, thanks for being on. And
it's my pleasure.
Now let's not go that far. But thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of the Coach's Box Call Like We See It podcast. God willing, we will be back next week. Hell, we might even be live at the MAC. Even if Powers isn't going to be there, we might just go ahead and show up there.
All the way up to the MAC if Powers.
I know you don't want to. Who cares if he's there? He's never here anyway. But thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. We'll see you guys all next week. Good night and God bless.
This episode of the Coach's Box Call It Like We See It podcast is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more fun when you're off the rails.